Alright, hey guys, and welcome back to another Sonic collectible review video. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Sonic and Shadow chibi plushes, the large versions. So these are new releases, only coming out towards the later part of 2017, and these are currently only available in the theme park Joypolis, which is in Odaiba, Tokyo, Japan. We've recently had some new Sonic merchandise come out within Joypolis, and these two pieces are among that line. So, as I already said at the start of this video, these are the larger versions of these plushes, meaning that there are also smaller versions of these plushes. Now, this plush retails for 3,218 yen, and that converts the British pounds to about £21.50, so that might be around sort of the $30 mark. So they're reasonably expensive for a Sonic plush. However, the smaller versions of this plush retail at 1,800 yen, so it's about a 1,400 yen cheaper difference if you want to get the small one. And I've also seen a sort of just the faces of these chibi plush characters, like not stuffed, as a part of the merchandise. I can assume this is like maybe a wallet or some sort, but that's a little bit cheaper as well. But yes, these are the large versions of the plushes, and these were sent to me by my very good friend in Japan, which I'm very grateful for him sending these to me. So let's have a closer look at these plushes. You know, we're going to start with Shadow on this one. Now, I've got to admit, I'm not a big fan of chibi style merchandise, but I've got to admit, these actually do look really cool, and they have definitely grown on me since picking these up. Obviously, the term chibi means that it's a sort of very much cute expression type character with like a massive head and with massive eyes. You'll often see this many a times with various animes and even merchandise for animes. So yes, this is Shadow. And even with that sort of frown he's got there, he looks, you definitely can't take him serious when he looks this sort of cuddly cute type appearance he's got here, but he's pretty awesome. So let's start with a little close look at his head. These are pretty firmly stuffed. You can see it, if I squeeze his head a little bit there, you can see it jumps straight back out. These have got a very nice material feel to them. The tips of his eyes are embroidered on there with cotton. You can see it's a different material, as is his eyes itself. They are stitched and embroidered on, which is pretty cool, because I'm more a fan of embroidered on eyes as opposed to glued pieces of plastic on there. His mouth in the frown position is actually not a black colour, it's actually more of a brown, which is pretty interesting, because usually the mouths on Sonic characters are always just stitched with a black, but that's pretty different. I've got to admit, that's actually the first time I've noticed that looking up at this guy close. He's got his little nose there, and the spikes. That's pretty sweet. And you look at the red, very nice vibrant red. And then we work our way down to his chest fur, which is fully all in, well, it's actually the white part looks like it's been attached to the top of his chest and then stitched down with this white embroidery. It does certainly make it stand out quite a bit on his chest. His hands are in like a clenched fist position, but you have got some stitching here to show individual fingers, which is pretty cool, because I've seen a lot of chibi style merchandise where it doesn't even have fingers on there, it's just one, like sort of one giant mitten type of glove. So that's pretty cool. And his thumbs are in a thumbs up position. His shoes, they're not incredibly detailed, but then they're not really going to be, because it's a chibi plush. It doesn't have the top part of his shoes that you see on other merchandise. However, one thing that is cool that I've noticed is that you have actually even got like a couple of circles here on the soles of his feet, which are present on the Shadow the Hedgehog's shoes. Although admittedly it doesn't have the red bit here, which would be if he was looking at the bottom of his shoes of the official character model, and it's the same as one. The tag, you've got the Sonic the Hedgehog at Sega, and on the back of it just says made in China. Looking at the actual tag here itself, let it focus, Not that you'll be able to read it because it's pretty much all in Japanese, although you do have the licensed by Sega sticker there on the top right. That is actually a sticker that's been put on there. And the front of the tag, nothing too special on here, it just basically says Sonic the Hedgehog, as you can see. So yeah, pretty cool. I quite like that. So let's move on to Sonic. So pretty much the same thing. His eyes are nigh on identical, like the same style that it's been stitched on with the sort of crescent moon shape on the bottom half. It's the exact same look of how Shadow is, but instead his are red and not green. So it's obviously based off modern Sonic, but this could easily have gotten away with classic Sonic. His hands are in the exact same position as Shadow's, in the clenched fist position with the thumbs up, and he also has the brown stitching on his mouth, which is pretty unique, I've got to admit. He's got very, as with Shadow, little short stubby spikes, but as with Shadow's, Sonic's are pointing down as opposed to the top halves of Shadow's spikes, which are pointing up. The ears are pretty much the same for both plushes. They're not stuffed, they're actually just material that's been sort of stitched on it together, and which is pretty much the standard you get with Sonic plushes. Close look at the back, you've got the bottom half. The bottom parts of these plushes, like this part, which is the same with Shadow, they're kind of filled with small little beans that you'd get in like a bean bag. I can only imagine they've done this because there's a bit of weight to the bottom part so you can actually sit them up, because if that wasn't there I'm pretty sure they'd just be rolling over if you wanted to display them like that. And of course Sonic has a cream belly here as opposed to Shadow's, which is the chest fur. The shoes, pretty awesome, pretty standard for Sonic. This is interesting, this is actually a piece of yellow felt that's actually been glued onto his shoes. They're not actually stitched on, it's actually completely glued on, which is pretty cool. I'm hoping that that lasts over the tests of time. So yeah, in terms of size, I have a tape measure. They are roughly from the tip of his ear to the bottom part of his shoe. It's a little bit over 8 inches. Sort of 8 inches and a quarter. So they're pretty big plushes. I'm not entirely sure the size of the smaller versions, but looking at a picture of them, they are around half the size smaller maybe. I've got a couple of photos of the merchandise at Joypolis, which I'll put as a little slideshow at the end of this video so you guys can see. And you can have a little look at some of the other merchandise that they're showing there. Shadow is, yeah, pretty much the same size, only a slight little tiny bit bigger, but not by much at all. So these are pretty decent plushes, I've got to admit. So let's do a little comparison. This is the PMS Sonic plush, who's obviously quite a bit bigger, but when you sit him down he doesn't really look much different from the same size. This is obviously representing classic Sonic. This one's been out a little while now, maybe about 8 years, but he's in pretty good condition still, and you can see. Pretty sweet. And I have another Joypolis piece of merchandise to compare him to in terms of size. This is the Joypolis Sonic plush. Now of course this is the Halloween themed plush, but it's the exact same model as with any of the other Joypolis Sonic plushes, except he's holding a pumpkin and he's got a cape. His tag's a little bit different, but in terms of if you just remove them, the plush is exactly the same. However, some of the Joypolis plushes will have a JP on the feet, or foot I should say, sorry, but this one doesn't. But as you can see, size comparison, pretty sweet. I do certainly love the Joypolis standard plush model. It's very much feels like the remodeling after the Sonic Adventure 2 Soap Shoe Sonic. Definitely looks and feels like that. And so yeah, here we go. The Joypolis Halloween Sonic plush. He measures at about a little bit over 15 inches, maybe 15 and a half inches. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I haven't actually done a video on this one, but here's a little look at the tag, which is pretty cool. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I've got to admit, these are pretty awesome. As like I said, I don't usually go out of my way to buy chibi themed merchandise, but this is definitely an exception because these are pretty awesome, and I'm really grateful that my friend was able to send these to me and do a little video on this to show you guys. So let me know what you guys think about these in the comment section below. Will you plan on picking these up, because these are bound to appear online eventually. I'm sure eBay, there'll be sellers selling these off eventually. I wouldn't say go pay ridiculous amounts of money for them if people are really overselling them on eBay. They might be worth a little bit at the moment, but that's because they're newly released items. But give it some time, and they will definitely drop down in price. Although admittedly, I haven't actually checked online to see what these are retailing at. So yeah, thank you very much for watching this video all the way to the end, guys. Stay tuned for some more Sonic collectible merchandise video reviews coming in 2018. Take care of yourselves and see you soon.